I'm Kosta from Car Focus, and today we're going to be looking at the Wildtrak X. The Wildtrak X is a baby Raptor, or so it's called. It slots in just above the Wildtrak and just below the Platinum in terms of its price range, but in terms of its off-road credentials, it's really surpassed only by the Raptor, and I'll tell you why as we'll go through it today. Now, we do cover quite a lot in these videos, so if there's something specific you want to watch about the Wildtrak X, click on the description below and jump to the chapter that interests you. Wildtrak X is the only Ranger that comes in the color Cyber Orange. You can also see hints of Cyber Orange throughout the vehicle, like in the front grille over here. It comes in a variety of colors, but the specification level is just one, and that's the one we have here today. And it comes standard with all the features that we're going to see here on this vehicle today. The Wildtrak X comes standard with what is called the Premium Pack in the normal Wildtrak, and that gives you the directional headlights and the accessory switch bank. Looking at the front of the Wildtrak X, you do get this Wildtrak logo running across the bonnet of the vehicle. You get the blacked out Ford badge. You also get the Cyber Orange accenting on the front grille. The other thing that makes the front of the Wildtrak X instantly recognizable is the high beam assist LEDs. These sit just here, there's 3 of them on each side, and they're activated along with the high beam to give you extra light. You also get a metal bash plate underneath here to give it proper off-road credibility, and in addition to that, the suspension is also lifted from the standard Wildtrak. All of that comes together to give Wildtrak X a higher stance and a bigger presence on the road. Looking under the bonnet, Wildtrak X comes with Ford's 2-liter bi-turbo diesel engine. It was proprietary technology when it first came out, and it does make the vehicle really responsive. The bi-turbos actually work in tandem, they don't work together, so there's a low pressure and a high pressure turbo, ensuring that you're always under boost. So the car feels very perky and responsive. It's definitely geared towards being an off-road companion. And why do I say that? We'll start off over here with the accessory panel fuse box, which is also linked to its own wiring harness. So the panel isn't just a panel, it's actually also wired throughout the car. All 6 of those switches have their wiring already in place. And for example, these 2 wires are for the front 2 headlights. So if you want to link any of the 2 switches to the high beam, you can do that. And the balance of the 4 switches are linked all the way down the sides and the backs of the vehicle so that you can add accessories really easily. Currently, the Wildtrak X only comes out in the bi-turbo, so you can't get it in the V6 option, and there's no indication yet from Ford whether that's going to change in the future. The flared guards are bolted on, not stuck on, which makes them a little bit more robust and easier to remove and replace if you ever need to. Looking over here, you can see straight away that you've got an extra 27mm of lift on the Wildtrak X, so it is designed to be taller than the standard Ranger. You also get the 17-inch grabber off-road tires, and throughout the entire vehicle, including the alloy wheels, you get the asphalt black finish throughout all the trim panels. It gets the Bilstien dampeners on the front shock absorbers as well as the back. You get a lot of black accenting throughout Wildtrak X, starting with this air vent, the side mirrors, the Wildtrak X logo, as well as the aluminium side step that's coated in what looks like a bed liner finish all the way across it just to protect it. A lot of that will stick out and pop on the signature color Cyber Orange. Continuing on with the black accenting, you get the black handles, you get the black strips between the 2 windows to give you a complete blackout look, as well as the privacy glass on the back. You also get these higher rails, which are adjustable and can be turned into roof rails as well. Wildtrak X is the first Ranger that has introduced the Adblue. It does meet Euro 6 emission standards, and in order to meet those, it does have to use Adblue, so it's the first of the Rangers to start using it. It's been in the Everest for a while now already. At the back, it also gets the unique sailplane that used to be only on the Platinum, is now also standard on the Wildtrak X. What makes it unique is that it can move. So by clipping this handle here, you can actually slide it along the back, and you can clip it in to 5 different positions, allowing you more versatility for loading things on top of the vehicle. In addition to that, it also has a pop-out rail there, which is cleverly designed so that when fully deployed, it's at the same height as the rest of your roof rails, allowing you to load things flat across the roof of the Ranger Wildtrak. The Bilstien suspension is continued at the rear. In addition to that, they've also beefed up the leaf suspension. Standard Ranger comes with 3 springs on each side, whereas this one comes with 5. The Bilstien suspension has an additional fluid reservoir, and what does that actually mean? It means that the shock absorber has more fluid in it. More fluid means it takes it longer to heat up. It taking longer to heat up means that you're less likely to experience shock fade. Looking at the rear styling of Wildtrak X, it's very similar to the Wildtrak. It gets the embossed Ranger logo. It gets the big Ford badge, although in Wildtrak X it is black. It gets the high-mounted stop light over there just underneath the grab handle, the four-wheel drive logo, and unique to it, the Wildtrak with the X and the orange accenting through there. It gets your rear tow bar. It also has the Anderson plug and the brake controller standard. The towing capacity remains the same at 3.5 tons. Looking inside the vehicle, you still got the spring-loaded rear tailgate, which makes it light and easy and very comfortable to handle. You've got a drop-in bed liner on this one, as well as the electric roller shutter. So the electric roller shutter is the only touch of aluminium that you'll see throughout Wildtrak X. It's got a release button in there to open the roller shutter, zone lighting, tie-down points, as well as these adjustable tie-down points that can move horizontally inside the tub. Looking at the back of the Wildtrak X, you get this premium leather finish with suede inserts, as well as orange stitching through their orange piping in keeping with its Wildtrak credentials. You get these all-weather mats with the Wildtrak X logo embossed on them. You get a USB-C and a USB-A charge point, rear air vents. These back seats also lift up to expose two little storage compartments at the back, or underneath rather, as well as some of your tools that are strapped in nice and neatly just there. The rear seat also folds down by unclipping just there, revealing your B&O subwoofer, amplifier, and your jack, which is slotted in just there. On the door, you get this orange stitching, the soft touch material that we haven't seen on a Ranger before, unique to Wildtrak X. Your central locking, electric windows, electric mirrors with fold back function, your grab handle with your release handle integrated together in there, and then your speakers, bottle holders, and storage compartment. The same soft touch material continues on the dash. Onto your vents are ringed in piano black, your cup holder, spring loaded, and positioned just underneath the vent. Below that, you've got your rear stat switch to brighten and dim your dash display. You've got your headlight controllers, fog lights, and your roller shutter control. You get this unique Wildtrak X scuff plate, electric seats for the driver as well as the passenger. Looking at the steering wheel, you've got your cruise control settings over there, lane departure warnings, smart cruise and speed limiter, volume settings, as well as voice commands. On this side, you've got your skip buttons, your phone answer buttons, and your trip computer and onboard computer buttons and controllers. You get a leather finished steering wheel with the orange stitching, and it's also height and reach adjustable. You get the integrated brake controller. These buttons allow you to set your gain, and this little manual switch allows you to manually brake the trailer if you need extra braking. Soft touch finish continues on here with the orange stitching across the dash. You get your two vents that skirt either side of the digital display, and you get your analog switches just underneath there for your aircon and your volume controls for your radio. You've also got split climate control, and you've also got heated driver and passenger seats. Moving further down, you've got a wireless charger for a smartphone. You've got two little storage compartments over there, and for something small and thin just in there. You also get the two cup holders with the spring-loaded teeth to keep your cups in place. You've got your e-shifter, which is designed to be electronic or drive-by-wire. Your electric park brake, it does have auto hold, but auto hold doesn't get its own button here. You actually activate that through the screen. Further back here, your auto start stop to activate, deactivate, to switch on your ESP. This is the self-park feature where the Wildtrak X can actually park itself, just like the top of the range Wildtrak and Platinum Everest. This is your camera controller for off-roading situations. Over here are your different drive modes and your drive mode selector, but you can shift it left and shift it right to flip through your different drive modes. You can also manually select between 2 high, 4 low, or 4 automatic. Center armrest, which once you flip it open, it does also have a 12-volt charge point in there and lots of space. Looking at the digital screen, you've got your main control menus at the top. You've got your home screen, your settings screen, and your camera screen. If you click on your camera screen, it brings up your 360-degree view camera, as well as, in this instance, a front view looking out the nose of the vehicle. Now, these views can be altered, so if you click this button over here, you can go to pure front view, a more detailed front view, or you can go to a rear view of the vehicle. The rear view brings up the lines, as well as the center position. You also have your park sensors that can be activated and deactivated just there. And you also have your tow hook view, which gives you a bird's eye view of your tow ball. This is the bigger display that is available in the Rangers, and it also comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both wireless. And over here you can control your heated seats, your aircon selectors, but you can also use your manuals for that. In the home screen you get your radio, your phone, your navigation, media settings, and owner's manual. Pretty in-depth, as well as towing. Towing actually allows you to set up different trailers. You can add them just over there, and it allows you to set the length of your trailers and give them names so that it becomes easy every time you hook up a different trailer. You just select it from the list here and the car will know exactly how long it is. It uses the length of the trailer to adjust your blind spot detection settings to accommodate for the trailer. It also has a towing checklist, so every time you're towing or hitching up your trailer, it lets you go through this checklist. And a great part of this checklist is your trail light check. So normally you would need 2 people to do a trailer light check. With the Ford Ranger, you just hit the trailer light check button, and then it goes outside and it runs through the sequence of lights for you, so you can actually check that on your own. This is your trail turn assist button, your trail control button, as well as your rear differential button. So this is all your off-roading menus just here. The trail turn assist uses the brakes, and it detects if you're turning left or right, and it will actually lock up the left wheel or the right wheel so that it can give you the shortest possible turning circle. And that'll be number 3. Do you want me to sprinkle it in now?
Yeah, go for it.
Number 3 is your trail turn assist, available in the 4 low or 4 high setting, and it actually reduces your turning circle. And the way it does that is it electronically locks up the left wheel or the right wheel depending on which way you're turning, so it can give you the shortest possible turning circle. The digital cluster is the 12-inch cluster. It's the same one that you get in the Platinum and the Raptor. Wildtrak X also gets it. Looking at the main cluster, you've got your rev counter on the left hand side, your speedometer on the right hand side. At the top you've got your temperature, water temperature, oil temperature, as well as your fuel gauge and distance to empty. You can also configure your view over here and go through some of these menus where you can get fuel economy, you can get your trip computers, and if you're going to configure view, you can actually select which screens you want to be there. So you can add tire pressure, seat belts, off-road, pitch and roll, Adblue information, although it only allows you a maximum of 6. So I've selected too many, I'd have to go and deselect one of them, add the Adblue information, the Adblue level. Once you've set up your trailers, you can also go into your trailer information, and depending on which trailer you've selected, it gives you information on what gain you've set it at, what fuel economy you're getting with this trailer, as well as what distance you've traveled with it. And if you're going to driver assist, it will bring up the smart cruise control menu, which will let you know what following distance you've set is your lane departure warning system working, and what's active and what's not active. Alright, you've got the 7 different drive modes. You start off in normal, eco, tow haul mode. It shifts it into 4x4 in tow haul mode. Slippery also goes into 4x4. Mud and ruts goes into 4x4, as well as sand mode, which goes into 4x4, locks the rear differential and switches off the ESP. And finally, rock crawl mode. So Wildtrak X is the only other Ranger other than the Raptor that gets rock crawl mode, and that's achieved with the Bilstien suspension, which actually allows it to have this mode. And once you select this mode, it goes into 4-wheel drive high, locks the rear differential and switches off the ESP. So the first thing that I've noticed with Wildtrak X is how comfortable it is. Just jumping inside the car and driving it, it really does feel like a car. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a utility vehicle. This would be a great daily, something that you could drive around to work in every single day, take the family away on the weekends, and use it as a work vehicle during the week. So it's very versatile and multifunctional. And the truth is, Rangers have become the top selling car in Australia, which means this type of vehicle is taking over the market. People are choosing it in front of normal cars. They're choosing it ahead of SUVs. And so the versatility of a utility vehicle like this is taking the market over. So Wildtrak X is fitted with the 17-inch grabber tires. One of the concerns that I had when I first jumped into it was going to be the road noise and also how do these all-terrain or off-road tires perform on sealed surfaces. And I'm really pleasantly surprised. So there's not a lot of road noise in the car. Very smooth ride and very comfortable. Being inside the cabin of the Wildtrak X, the finishes of the material, they're just really, really good. High quality, soft touch. The seats, they're super comfortable. The other thing that I love is if you set the cruise control, it does have speed sign recognition. So as you come past a speed sign, and like just back there, our speed limit changed from 80 to 100. And without having to do anything, the car just adjusts its speed and it picks up from 80 to 100 without me having to do anything. Haven't touched any pedals, haven't done anything. And the reverse of that is also true. So if you're coming off the expressway and you're coming from a 100 zone to an 80 zone or a 60 zone, the car will automatically adjust the speed for you and reduce without you having to do anything. And in fact, what it does do is it frees you up to pay attention to what's going on around you on the road. So for me, that actually enhances safety as well. In Australia, the Ford Ranger competes primarily with Toyota Hilux and the Isuzu MU-X, or D-Max rather. Those are the two main competitors in the segment. Ranger is market leader at the moment, with the Hilux coming in second. If you want to have a look at our Hilux video, we've just done one recently of the GR Hilux, the new one, and you can look at that one on our channel and compare it. Don't forget to subscribe. Your comments mean a lot to us, so leave those for us down below. Continue watching and look out for the next video.